Yo! Welcome back to the 5 Zone. And today we are gonna be talking about who the greatest Star Wars character is in the Clone Wars series. Because Clone Wars series went for 7 seasons and is one of the greatest things that Star Wars has ever produced. It is such a great show to watch. It's so entertaining. So I thought about it. I was like, okay, this is actually difficult because we have a few. For me, there's Anakin Skywalker, obviously, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, one of the best, Darth Maul. Even though he joined later, he was such a pivotal part in the show to watch. He was so great. Padme Amidala. Those are like the 5 for me, the top 5 best Clone Wars characters. So for me, to be honest, if we're gonna start it, I think the best, I'm gonna go 5-1. The 5th best is Padme for me. Because Padme was good. She was really good. She was like so pivotal in like every arc of the Clone Wars. But I don't think she is generally the best character in the show. She is one of the main characters, but she's not the best in my opinion. And she's not very like powerful, strong. She tries to do something, it works, doesn't work. It's always like that. So for me, she goes into the 5th best character of the Clone Wars. That's why I think she's there, but she's not up there. Next up, we have 4th. For 4th, I'm going Obi-Wan Kenobi. Obi-Wan is still like so sick. If we're talking movies, just the movies itself, Obi-Wan's number 1. Like the prequels, he was the best. In the sequels, he started it all off. He's one of the best. He is my favorite Star Wars character, but for me in the Clone Wars, he wasn't as like pivotal as, for example, Ahsoka or Anakin is. He was really like in the Ryloth part. He was really used for the Mandalore stuff. He was there when they were freeing Saw Gerrera, and then he was really useful, pivotal, but he wasn't like as much of the main character as the others. So I think he falls into where he's like, in some episodes he's really good, better than Anakin, but then in some episodes he's just like not there. So for me, that's why he goes into like this weird place where he's like, is he the greatest? Is he not the greatest? So for me, he's around there, but he isn't the greatest Clone Wars character of all time, in my opinion. If we go on to number 3, I think Darth Maul takes number 3. Darth Maul, he came in what season was it? Season 4, season 5? But since those seasons, he has been the main. He knew Palpatine's plans, but he didn't reveal it. Why? Savage Opress. Him and Savage just took over Mandalore, but until Palpatine came and killed them. He was one of the most pivotal main characters in the Clone Wars, and by the end, season 7, he tried to reach out to Ahsoka and tell her Anakin's gonna get this, or his plan is to turn the clones evil. He tried, but it was too late, and no one was ever gonna believe Darth Maul. So it was like, oh, he actually knows the truth, yet he's not saying it. Why? It was such a weird place. I was like, it was always confusing. That's why I think he's drops into 3rd, because he came in later, but he was still so great for the 3 or 4 seasons he was there. He was really good. For the few time that he had in the episodes and stuff, he was really great. From the resurrection of Darth Maul's power to basically finished Darth Maul's power until Rebels, of course. And then after that, we have number 2, second best Star Wars character of all time, Clone Wars character of all time, is Anakin Skywalker. Yup. For me, Anakin Skywalker is the second greatest Star Wars Clone Wars character. He was really, really pivotal. Like in every single season, he has some kind of main part in every story. From the Ryloth one to the one where they go to this like different, I forgot the episode's name, where the brother, the sister, and the main guy. I remember all of that. They done Chosen One. He saw what he's gonna do in the future, and then he forgot that. The whole Anakin was so pivotal to the Clone Wars. He was so useful in the Clone Wars. He was really, really a great character, better than most characters in the Clone Wars. He was really strong. He didn't care. You kind of saw him growing towards like more evil and more opposite the Jedi ways in the Clone Wars series. You could really tell that. And that's why I think, to be honest, he's like really, like you get to see Anakin's growth. He goes from the movie Clone Wars, he's like, I don't want a Padawan, to teaching Ahsoka really well, to the point where like she becomes really, really great. It shows her why he's a good master and why he deserved. When you watch the Clone Wars, you kind of feel like, why didn't he get a seat? He was beating everyone, he was winning them wars, yet he didn't get into the master like there. How? Why? It was always like confusion, and this show really showed like why he turned evil, and you kind of felt like, oh, there's kind of a reason he became a Sith, kind of. So that means Anakin goes in second. So now finally, number 1, the greatest Star Wars Clone Wars character is Ahsoka Tano. Now she is number 1 for me because it felt like the whole show she was main character. Like since the season 1, since when she was like a little Padawan, to season 7, where she goes on Mandalore to beat Maul, and then she saves Rex, and then she fights off like the 501st. She was so good in the, not the 501st, I mean like a bunch of clones. She was so good in the Clone Wars series, season 7 especially. And then before that she gets kicked out of the Jedi Council, because she gets kicked out of like the Jedi thing because she got framed by Barriss Offee. It was such a great, Ahsoka had such a great arc in the Clone Wars that I think that she's one of the most underrated Star Wars Clone Wars characters, because people don't put her at the best. For me, she was clearly the best. You saw her growth throughout the show, and you saw how great of a fighter she became from the show. That's why I think she's literally one of the greatest Star Wars characters. So yeah, that's my top 5 greatest Clone Wars character. And I know some of you will say, but Anakin is the best. I don't care. In my opinion, Ahsoka's better than Anakin in the Clone Wars. So yeah, drop a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.